In the next two problems, we're being asked to transform a triangle using this kind of a mapping. So let's look at problem 7. Using triangle ABC as the pre-image, a transformation T is defined as taking x comma y into negative x comma y. We're being asked to graph the triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, which are the images of A, B, and C, state the ordered pairs for these 3 points, and then answer some questions about the transformation. So we've got to start by identifying the points we're given as a pre-image, A, B, and C, and what their coordinates are. So this is point A, and you'll notice it does not fall evenly on either of these lines. So it's to the right of the y-axis, but it's to the left of the line x equals 1. Exactly where it is, I don't know. I'm going to assume that any point that's not on a line is at the midpoint, is at a point 5. It's equally between these two lines. I have no way of knowing that, but that's the best I can do, because other than that, it would just be a wild guess. So I'm going to assume any point that is not on the line is halfway between the two adjacent lines. So the coordinates of A, we would be moving 0.5 in the x direction and then 1.5 up in the y direction. So let's call this 0.5, comma 1.5 for A. I think I need a slightly darker pen for this so it can be seen on the video. Let me write over that. 0.5, comma 1.5. Okay, point B is over here, and I have to count 1, 2, 3, 4.5 on the x axis, and then up 1, 2, 3.5 on the y-axis. I'm just going to use decimals. Okay. And point C, which is sort of buried over here, that is 1, 2, 3.5 on the x-axis, and it looks like it's just 1/2 up on the y-axis. So these are my pre-image points. And now I have to do this transformation. XY goes into negative XY. So let me just put down XY as a reference over here, and it's going to go into negative XY to the right of each of these. Well, that's not hard to do. All we have to do is put a negative, is change the sign of the x value. Now we can do that pretty readily. So A becomes negative 0.5, 1.5. B becomes negative 4.5, 3.5. And C becomes negative 3.5, 0.5. Yeah, might as well copy these in the answer slot here. 0.5, 1.5. B prime is negative 4.5, 3.5. And C is negative 3.5, 0.5. Okay, now we've got to plot these points and answer some questions. So A is negative 0.5 and y is positive 1.5. That would put A prime about over here. B prime is going to be negative 4.5 on the x, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and 3.5 on the y. That would be 1, 2, 3.5. We'll put it right about over there. This is B prime. And then C prime should be negative 3.5, 0.5. So let's count on the x, negative 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. And then 0.5 up would put it right over there. This would be C prime. Let's go ahead and join the points to create the sides of the triangle, the image of the pre-image. Okay, so I think you can tell that this is a reflection. Okay, it is an isometry. The two triangles are congruent, so we can say, yes, this is an isometry, and it is a reflection. In fact, we've seen this before. We actually had a problem where we went from xy to negative xy, and we concluded that that was a reflection over the y-axis. So that's what this is also here. This is the y-axis, and the equation of the line of reflection, well, they're asking for the equation of the y-axis, so the answer would be, really it's the y-axis, but the y-axis does have an equation. Okay, the y-axis equation is x equals 0. Okay, that is the equation of the y-axis, x equals 0. That would be the answer, or the y-axis itself could be the answer.